Welcome, battlers, to episode 5 of our Cliffhanger Cup series. We're facing off against HarrisLeader, one of my friends from the Brandon area. As you can see there, his team is on the left and my team is on the right. He is bringing Golbat, Tropius, Fortress, Probopass, Swampert, and Lucario. My team, I'm bringing Golbat as well. I also have Lanturn, Trash Wormadam, Defense Deoxys, Wigglytuff, and Venusaur. We have some very exciting matches for you today, and I can't wait to get into them. Going into round 1, I open with Lanturn, he opens with Golbat. I win this matchup because Golbat is a flying type. He is going to get a few wing attacks in here and then switch into Fortress. Fortress is an interesting opponent for my team as I don't have a pure coverage option. However, I do switch out of that Lanturn and absorb that Earthquake perfectly with the Golbat. With Fortress, the key is active switching. It is hard to count those bug bites, but I think it's just when you play enough, you get some instinctual timing for how long it takes, and sometimes you can guess correctly. He is going to fire off a Heavy Slam against my Golbat. I'm going to attempt to farm down this Fortress as much as possible. I do fire off the Poison Fang to try to finish it off, but he's able to get in one more charge move with barely one hit point left. The Heavy Slam does hurt, but I have a Shadow Ball and a Poison Fang at the ready. He is going to bring in Swampert here. I do decide to put the Shadow Ball pressure on him because if he doesn't shield, that's a huge amount of damage and I'm not able to get off a second charge move regardless. He does finish off our Golbat with the Hydro Cannon. He was forced to do that because Swampert's Mud Shots don't do that much damage and you need to use that charge move to finish off your opponent in most cases. Getting back to the battle, I go in here with Lanturn. I fire off the Thunderbolt. He has Golbat. Golbat fires off the Poison Fang. I get to a second Thunderbolt because I banked a lot of energy from earlier and we fry that Golbat. In comes the Swampert though, and he uses a Hydro Cannon. The correct move here, I believe, is Earthquake because you want to bring down that Lanturn as quick as possible. He does get to a second Hydro Cannon here, but I'm in a very comfortable position because I have Venusaur in the back. Knowing that Swampert charges up so quickly, I go ahead and go for the Frenzy Plant, and we win round 1. Here we go, battlers, jumping right into round 2. I decide to open with Lanturn. He opens with Fortress. We talked about this matchup a moment ago. We saw this a lot in the Jungle Cup in Season 1. I try to time the Earthquake, but he's smart. He actually delays the Earthquake that time and fires off a Heavy Slam instead. I have to shield my Golbat, but he gets another Heavy Slam, and we're not going to burn 2 shields on Golbat. We are trying to get to our charge move here. We do get to the Shadow Ball. I'm going to try to nuke this Fortress. And we do. Expecting the Poison Fang, Harris does not shield. He brings in his Swampert again. I'm trying to go for the Shadow Ball there, but we encounter a bit of lag. He's able to get off the Hydro Cannon and finish off our Golbat. I have 2 good options here. I decide to bring in Defense Deoxys and try to put some shield pressure on the Swampert. I know Defense Deoxys is bulky enough to take this Hydro Cannon no problem. I fire off the Psycho Boost here to try to pressure the shield, and we get this shield out of that Swampert. I'm going to defend the second Hydro Cannon, banking on the idea that I can get to another Psycho Boost. However, I think maybe we under-tapped or maybe it was just a pinch of lag, but he gets to the Hydro Cannon first. I bring back in Lanturn, and he actually is going to go for the Hydro Cannon again. I think that Earthquake is probably the best move there. He brings in the Golbat. I'm going to fire off a Thunderbolt here and let's see if we can close this game. He does shield, but I get to one more Thunderbolt at the last second, right before his charge move, and we fry that Golbat to take the round. Going right into this round, I open with Defense Deoxys. He opens with Tropius. Tropius is one of the key Defense Deoxys counters, especially the Air Slash variant. He does switch into Swampert beautifully, forcing me to expend my energy on Thunderbolt where it would not be effective against Swampert because Swampert is part ground type. I do decide to switch here into Venusaur. He does fire off the Earthquake, but it ends up shielding that attack. Venusaur's got a ton of energy, but he brings in Golbat. I'm going to use Frenzy Plants here. This is essentially the same strategy I would use if I was facing a Skarmory. I'm just going to try to get as much pressure in as possible. He does fire up the Poison Fang. I probably could have foregone the shield there, but I decided to shield. I do fire up the second Frenzy Plant, do a little bit of chip damage, and my switch clock is up, so I switch into Lanturn. The Razor Leaf variant of Tropius, less deadly to Deoxys, but super deadly to our Lanturn, as you can see there. He does get to the charge move, which is Leaf Blade. In this situation, I am going to bring in Venusaur and go for the Sludge Bomb. I know I can finish off this Tropius, and hopefully I'm in a good position for the Golbat in the end. I did not want to pair up the Golbat against Venusaur in the end, so this might have worked out for us. I bring in Defense Deoxys. I know all we need to do is get to that Psycho Boost, but this Golbat is going to give us a run for our money. It does fire off the Poison Fang. I think maybe a Shadow Ball would have ended the match there. I do fire off the Psycho Boost, and we take down that Golbat. Going to the next round, I open with Golbat. He opens with Swampert. This is an interesting matchup because Golbat, as we've seen, can take one or two of those Hydro Cannons. I'm going to try to put some shield pressure on this Swampert though. I try to make the switch there. It doesn't go through for us. That's okay. I decide to shield my Golbat and I make the swap into Venusaur. Venusaur is able to get in some good work before that Swampert escapes. In comes Golbat. I'm not going to shield expecting the Poison Fang, and that is what we get. I do fire off a Sludge Bomb here. Sludge Bomb is blocked by Harris. I go for a second Sludge Bomb. Let's see what he does. He does double shield the Golbat. He is investing a lot in this Golbat, and he thinks it is the key. I do decide to bring in Lanturn here after I wait down the switch clock. He fires off the Shadow Ball. It does a good amount of damage against Lanturn. However, I'm able to almost get to my charge move. Not sure what to expect here. I do shield. It is the Poison Fang though. I farm up a few more Water Guns and then go for the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt brings down the Golbat, and in the back he has Tropius. I do have some energy here with my Golbat, so I decide to bring it in and use Shadow Ball. I'm not sure if Poison Fang is the right move there. I do fire off a Poison Fang here against the Swampert. His fast switch forced me to use my energy. He is going to use a Hydro Cannon to take down Golbat, and this match is coming right down to the line. I use a few Water Guns on that Swampert, and we're able to defeat it. In comes Tropius, but the Razor Leafs are too much for us to overcome, and Harris wins. Going to the final round, I open with Venusaur. He opens with Fortress. I need to bail out of this match immediately. I do go into my Golbat. He brings in his Swampert. We've seen this matchup a few times already in this video. I do fire off a Shadow Ball. He allows it to land, so it does a good amount of damage against Swampert. Feeling more comfortable, I decide not to shield this attack. I'm going to try to get to that Poison Fang to finish off Swampert. Let's see what happens. He decides to shield it and get one more Hydro Cannon. Golbat's done an excellent job for me, so I am going to let it fall. I do decide to go in with my Venusaur, and one Vine Whip finishes off that Swampert. In comes Fortress, so we're back where we started. I do use a few Vine Whips, and I switch into Lanturn, expecting the Earthquake. I do shield, but it's just a heavy slam. I'm going to farm up this Fortress as much as I can with the Water Guns. I'm trying to get to a charge move here. I do decide to shield, expecting the Earthquake, and it is. Knowing that this Fortress spent all of its energy, I do farm up a few more extra Water Guns and then go for the Thunderbolt. He does decide to defend the Thunderbolt, but I get to another one just in time, right before his charge move. Our Thunderbolt fries that Fortress. In comes the Golbat. I know that I need one more Thunderbolt. I try to make a sack swap into Venusaur to absorb the Poison Fang, but it doesn't work out. That's okay, because right here at the end we get to a third Thunderbolt with our Lanturn. And for these matches, our Lanturn was really the MVP. Great games as always. Harris, thank you so much for the battles. Cliffhanger has been a lot of fun as we look to wrap up Cliffhanger and go full-time into Sinister. Definitely check out my channel for more Sinister Cup videos and more Pokemon Go PvP videos in general. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next one.